So I'll start with the introduction first. So developmental coordination disorder is also known as with many names. So it's also known as clumsiness, motor brain deficit, it could be dyspraxia, it could be developmental disorder of motor functions, it could be clumsy child syndrome. So it have many names. So let's move to the definitions. So definitions, you have to, according to the occupational therapist, 6 editions, it is marked impairment in the development of motor coordinations. But then, according to the DSM-5, it almost similar. It is the motor coordination below expectation for his or her chronological age, and it must not due to the medical conditions, non-medical conditions, and it is not a pervasive developmental delay, and also the impairments interfere with the academical functions, with his or her academic. So this is according to the DSM-5. Here I prepare for table. I have 3 tables. So it shows the developmental age according the developmental milestone according to the age. So basically, that at what age you can do what things, like 1 to 2 words. So I'll prepare this table. You can read and you can memorize if you want, but this is the parameter that we use to know whether the developmental milestones is according to their chronological age or not. And characteristic of the developmental coordination disorder. So it basically delay or deficit development of one or more types of motor skills when the child's age and IQ are taken into account. And it's also often involve difficulties in performing tasks. So usually involve fine motor skill and also gross motor skill. So for examples, like forming a letter when they write. So they will have problems in this area, and also like throwing or catching balls. Now the characteristics actually what you can see from the children. So basically it have 5 things that we can see from the children: his or her motor skills, how about the play, and how about the health, and how about the social emotionals, and also the communications problems. So this is the 5 issue that usually we see from these children. So from the motor motor issue, it's actually, like I said from the previous slides, the gross motor and fine motor skills. So it have delay in practical skill in development, and also require huge effort to do motor tasks. So they have problems with this motor issue, the main reason one. The second one, the communication will be affected. So it's actually basically the articulation, because of he or she doesn't know how to use the tongue. So actually our tongue can move up and down and then left to right. So for the articulations, so this is important, the exercise of the tongue. So these children that have this problem of developmental coordination disorder, so they have these problems, the communication problems. And also, how about the play? So actually for this part, for the play part, is they try to avoid the outdoor play. So because outdoor play require more motor skills, how to climb, to throw ball, to kick ball. So you use the gross motor skill, the big muscles. And then the 4th one is the health. How about the health? So actually I only focus about the visions, because it will be affected in this type of children because their inability to control eye muscles. So that's the fourth thing. And the fifth one is the social and emotional. How about their social and emotional? So actually they may be active or they may be submissive or passive. So it can be either passive, active, or active. But then this type of children, they learn the art of avoidance. So if they can avoid, they will avoid at any cost. So this is the characteristic that we can see from these 5 issues with children that have developmental coordination disorder. So you look at the motor part, the communication part, the health part, the social and emotional part, and also the another one is the play part. So they try to avoid all those things that require the motor coordination skill, the fine motor skill or the gross motor skill. The principle first, the principle of interventions in this type of children. So the principle of intervention, so if there is no any intervention for this type of children, for this disorder, it can lead, the children may have the difficulties that will persist into later on into the adulthood. So it will be trouble for them, and for the long-term effect it can affect the social, the emotional, the educational well-being, like I said before this on the previous slide. And with interventions, they can learn to compensate for their difficulties. So they will try to adapt, they will try to learn what are the difficulties that they are having, and also it can build up the self-esteem for this type of children. And the intervention is actually there is no interventions that are known to work for all cases, but the expert have suggested that specialized course of treatment involving work with occupational therapists by providing the special education setting to help in handwriting, keyboarding, or also manipulations of materials. And these are designed to help the children to develop skills so that the child can use that type of methods in playing with their friends. So that is for the interventions for the developmental coordination disorder. So I think that's roughly what are the topics about today. So the definitions, what are the characteristics, what are the interventions that we require in order to have this kind of children that have this type of this disorder, developmental coordination disorder. Alright, thank you.